Joel here with Bodycam Breakdown TV. Today's footage comes from Police Insider. If you want to watch the original video without my commentary or breakdown, I'll have the full footage linked below so you can watch it start to finish. After noticing a car sitting through several green lights, an officer stops to check on the driver. But within moments, it becomes clear this isn't going to be a routine conversation. The breakdown starts now.
Driver's unresponsive so far. Stand by. Hello. Hi. How are you? Can you put it in park?
When officers encounter someone who appears unresponsive, their priorities shift immediately from enforcement to assessment. They're trying to determine whether they're dealing with a medical emergency, impairment, or a safety issue, because that answer will shape every decision that follows.
Hey, you know you've been sleeping through a couple light cycles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on? Okay, do you know where you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm waiting to go home.
Questions about location and awareness are a quick way for officers to gauge a person's mental state. When her answer doesn't match reality, it raises additional concerns, suggesting this may be more than a simple traffic stop, and giving officers a reason to slow the encounter down while they gather more information.
Where's home at?
Duluth.
Okay, we're at in Duluth. Do you have your license with you?
Yeah.
Can I see that, please?
No problem.
Like I explained already, you slept through a couple light cycles.
Yeah.
Where are you coming from tonight?
I was at a,
Asking where someone is coming from helps officers establish a timeline and determine whether there are gaps or inconsistencies in the person's account. At this stage, they're still building context, trying to understand what happened before they arrived and whether there are any indicators that would change how they handle the encounter.
party at a Moonshadow Tavern with some of my friends.
Where's that at? I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know the town it's in. It's like 30 minutes away from where I'm at. I can show you the address. What am I doing wrong? Why am I...
At this point, the officer is giving her an opportunity to speak freely. Those first uninterrupted answers can tell investigators a lot about a person's awareness and ability to communicate before the conversation becomes more directed.
You understand what I explained to you twice already, right?
Okay, what do you want me to pull up for you? You want me to pull up where I was at?
Well, you were talking about pulling that up. I don't really need that. I just was curious where that's at because I've never been there.
Okay, what do you need? Like, I'm just trying to get home.
Okay. Like I said, ma'am, just to reiterate the third time.
At this point, she's telling officers that all she was trying to do was get home and doesn't understand why they're contacting her. For officers, statements like that help establish her level of awareness and whether she's able to accurately process what's happening around her before the encounter moves any further.
The reason why I pulled in behind you is because when I was driving, I noticed that you were passed out, okay? The light was green, it turned red, and it turned green again, and you still hadn't gone, okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. And you were coming from that bar. How much alcohol did you drink tonight?
After explaining why he's there, the officer begins asking about alcohol consumption. That's a natural next step in the investigation. He's trying to determine whether there's a factor that could explain her condition while continuing to assess how she responds to direct questions.
I don't need a problem tonight, or else, my life will be ruined.
Okay.
Don't ruin my life tonight.
How would I ruin your life? I'm just talking to you right now just to see what's going on while you're passed out behind the wheel.
I'm not passed out behind the wheel. I'm fine. I'm saying, you're trying to ruin my life.
How? I'm literally just talking to you.
Her attention is now shifting toward the potential consequences of the encounter rather than the officer's questions. That's something officers pay attention to as well, because it can affect how willing a person is to cooperate and provide the information needed to move the investigation forward.
Here's what I need you to do.
I need you to let me go home.
I need you to step out of the vehicle right now, okay? I need you to put everything that you have in your hands on your lap over on your passenger seat. I need you to step out of the vehicle right now, please.
You're ruining my life.
Step to the front of my car.
At this stage, the officer is beginning to move the encounter into a more controlled environment. Having someone step out and walk to the front of the patrol vehicle helps limit distractions, improves visibility, and allows officers to continue their assessment while maintaining a safer position.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Step right there. Step right there.
I'm stepped right here.
Okay, listen. Listen to me.
I'm so upset.
Stop.
You're trying to ruin my life.
You need to stop, please.
Let me go home.
Okay, look. Here's the thing.
What do I need to do to go home?
The officer is still trying to communicate what's happening, but her responses suggest this conversation may become more difficult to manage. When communication breaks down, officers often have to spend more time gaining compliance and ensuring instructions are clearly understood before they can continue the investigation.
Like, I just want to go home.
I cannot explain anything to you if you keep interrupting me, okay? I'm trying to explain this to you, but I'm not going to keep talking over you, okay? Here's the thing. Again.
The officer has already explained why he's there, but he's still trying to make sure that information is getting through. From an investigative standpoint, that's important, because officers need to establish whether the issue is unwillingness to listen or an inability to fully process what's being said.
When you were talking to me, okay, you're pretty unsteady with your statements, okay? You have the odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from you. You're coming from a bar, okay? Which leads me to indicate that you might have had a little bit too much to drink.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I want to go home.
Okay.
If you do this to me, I will be with my family for the rest of my life.
Even after the officer addresses his observations, her concern remains focused on the personal consequences of the encounter. That can make an investigation more challenging, because officers are still trying to gather facts while the person involved is focused on what the situation could mean for their life outside of it.
Okay.
Like,
I am not doing anything to you.
You're gonna ruin my life. Let me go home.
Chill.
I can't. I have to
Chill.
go home now.
Stop. Do not turn this into a big situation. Chill. Do you understand what I'm telling you right now?
Let me go home.
Do you understand what I'm telling you right now,
let me
miss?
go home.
So chill.
The officer appears to recognize that the conversation is becoming more emotional, which is why he's trying to de-escalate it early. From a safety standpoint, officers will often address a person's tone and demeanor before it escalates further. Keeping the interaction calm gives everyone a better chance of getting through the encounter without it becoming something more.
You are an adult. Chill. I ain't speaking
so
to
let
you.
me go home.
No. Okay. You said that you didn't have a lot to drink. How much did you have to drink when you were out there?
Not a lot. I'm fine.
Okay. How many is not a lot? You're not a lot different than mine, I guarantee you.
What do you want to know?
Her priority is still getting home, but the officer hasn't reached the point where he can simply end the encounter. He's continuing to ask about alcohol consumption because officers need to understand what factors may have contributed to the situation before deciding what happens next.
I'm going home. I literally just need to go home right now.
Okay.
I don't need my life ruined right now. Like, I'm already being kicked out. Like, of a f***ing place. Like, I'm already gonna like...
Miss.
You want me to...
Miss.
I will if you do this to
Miss.
She's continuing to focus on the personal consequences of the encounter, but that doesn't change what officers still need to determine. Their responsibility remains the same: gather the facts, assess the situation, and make decisions based on what they're observing rather than the circumstances being described to them.
Miss, listen.
Let me go home.
You need to listen.
Let me go home or else I'll right now.
No. Okay, stop.
Let me go home
Act like an okay.
Right now. I've acted like an adult. I'm tired of being treated like shit.
I've been
treated me like shit right now. Let me go home.
I am investigating.
Let me go home. I don't need you to investigate shit.
You'll also notice the tone of the encounter beginning to change. As emotions start to rise and cooperation declines, officers have to pay closer attention to the interaction, because even routine investigations can become more difficult when communication begins to break down.
You're ruining my f***ing life! Let me go! I'm fucking sober! I hate you right now! Let me the f*** go!
Okay. Do you see what's in my face?
Yes!
Okay.
I hate you!
Her demeanor is becoming noticeably more aggressive, and that's something officers can't ignore. When an encounter starts shifting from conversation to confrontation, officers have to begin thinking ahead, adjusting their approach in case the situation becomes more difficult to control.
And I see the tip of your finger, there's one of them right fucking here!
Don't grab me. You're under arrest.
My glasses are in my hand.
Okay, just
under arrest.
The encounter ended with Carly being taken into custody after the situation continued to escalate during the investigation. According to available records, the 25-year-old was charged with driving under the influence, terroristic threats, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. While social media comments have suggested she may have entered a mental health court program, no official records have confirmed that information. From the officer's perspective, this call quickly became about more than the original reason for contact. As communication broke down, their focus shifted toward maintaining control of the scene and safely bringing the encounter to a close. What are your thoughts on how officers handled this incident? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, that's the end of today's breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, how do you think this situation went down? Did the officers handle it the right way, or would you have done something differently? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next Bodycam breakdown.